Thanks for staying with us here on Astro SuperSport. A bit of a social media YouTube special. We want to talk about the battle of top four, because at the moment only a handful of points separates really between 4th place and 8th place. Manchester United with a win here at Old Trafford against West Ham means they do bring themselves back up into 4th place. But it is fairly tight, isn't it, Julian? I mean, it is probably one of the tightest at the minute. The title race, I think it's almost over, really.
It is. I mean, you can't look past Man City. I mean, they're a phenomenal team with some outstanding players. Obviously, a great manager, and I think they're saying they're like 11 points clear or something like that. It is. For me, it's done and dusted. So it's the next.
So would you say the top 2 is pretty much certain? It's going to be Man City and Liverpool maybe in 2nd place, or maybe there might be a swap there. But Chelsea has really started dropping points of late. Do you think they are in the title race, or do you think they are in the top 4 race?
For me, the title's over. I think it's done and dusted. But that's just my opinion. So
no, I agree. I've watched Manchester City a few times in recent weeks, and I think they set the benchmark for the rest of the country. I think the way they play, the way they perform, they've got the best manager. I think they're the ones definitely to go and chase, for not only this year, for the next few years as well, because the strength in depth. I just think they're an outstanding football team. I can't see them throwing this lead away. I think the title race is pretty much done and dusted, unless there's a massive change in terms of form, not what Manchester City are playing at the moment. But for me, Liverpool 2nd, Chelsea 3rd, and I fancy Manchester United to claim that 4th spot.
So it's not going to be. Who's 4th spot for you then, Julian? Do you think West Ham can make it? Do you think it will be?
It's going to be difficult because, like you said, they've got a thin squad. Like you said, you need depth in your squad to really play Europa football and things like that. And obviously, like the cups and stuff like that, you need a big squad. And Man City have a massive squad. Liverpool have a big squad. Chelsea have a big squad. So it's going to be tough for West Ham. But listen, no one expected Leicester to win the Premiership, and they went and won the Premiership, so anything's possible. So for me, anything's possible.
So you don't think Spurs, no one's vouching for Spurs, even though Antonio Conte is doing really well in the league at the moment, unbeaten.
For me, if you're asking me to put money on, I would put money on Manchester United claiming that 4th spot, just because of the strength in depth. And I think people like Marcus Rashford coming back to form, and when you look at the quality that they have, I just fancy them getting up there. But if I was going to say for someone to rival them, I like the way Spurs are playing under Conte at the minute. I like the way he's
they've also played significantly less games as well. So if they do win their games in hand, they could very much be in 4th place.
I think it'll be tight between those two. But the main problem between all those teams, Spurs, Arsenal, Manchester United, is the inconsistency. And obviously, until they sort that consistency out between now and the end of the season, it's up for grabs for anyone to claim that fourth spot.
What about 3rd spot? Do you think that's settled for Chelsea?
I think they need to shape themselves. I think they need to go and get a good result tomorrow. If you'd asked me about 3 weeks ago, I would have said definitely. I would have said Chelsea might have been rivaling the top 2 to get into that top 2 spots. But in recent weeks, obviously, the dip in form has been quite alarming for Thomas Tuchel. But I think they've got the quality to get back to winning ways.
Is it the dip in form really just down to injuries to key players, to Ben Chilwell, to Reece James, or do you think there's something a little bit more to it?
Everything has a factor. I think injuries, I think the COVID situation, I think there's been a few scenarios that have propped up in recent weeks that have obviously affected Chelsea. Lukaku coming out and having his say and disrupting things as well didn't help. So there's been 1 or 2 issues I think they need ironing out, and I'm sure if they do that and they get a good win, for example tomorrow, it will give them all a lift.
Julian, what do you think?
Yeah, listen, there's many things in football that why teams don't win. Like I said, the manager could upset the players can upset players. Obviously, like you said, with COVID, injuries and suspensions and stuff.
But wouldn't it be a disappointment if Chelsea are just top 4, really? They've gone out to spend in the summer, obviously brought in Romelu Lukaku. Wouldn't actually top 4 be a disappointment?
Well, possibly, but at the end of the day, you have to be consistent, and consistency is about winning games, especially if you want to rival your Man Cities and your Liverpools. You have to win games. It's no good going, no, yeah, we lost these 2, but we'll go back next week, we'll get back on track. You can't be doing that. You shouldn't be losing games. You've got to be drawing games. You're going to lose a game or a game here or a game there, but they have to be consistently winning games.
What about Manchester United? What is the bare minimum? Obviously, it looks like they're not going to follow up from last season to be in 2nd place, really. Looking at the team, looking at what they've gone through with the transition with the new manager, what's the bare minimum for it to be a successful season for United?
I think top 4 for Manchester United will be a good season for them with all the problems that they've had. I think if you were asking anyone connected with Manchester United, they won't settle for anything less than competing for league titles and Champions Leagues. That's where this club feels like they need to be. And I think if they do finish in the top 4, it gives them a good foundation to build on to go and achieve those things.
Top 4, bare minimum?
Yeah, I'm with Alex. I mean, like I said, a top 4 would be a decent season for them. It won't be a great season because, like you said, they're expected to be competing for everything, and rightly so. They should be competing for everything. But we also go back to consistency again.
Right then, gents. Just one final recap. Your top 4 was Man City, Liverpool.
Man City, Liverpool, Chelsea, Manchester United.
What was yours?
Exactly the same.
Ooh, so West Ham missed out there.
I would love West Ham to be in there. I mean, it's going to be tough for them. I understand that, but I think it will be the same.
All right, thanks, gents. Thanks to Julian as well as to Alex. For more of your exclusive content, do make sure you check out the Stadium Astro YouTube page.